Nachum Segal, JM in the AM. We're at the Touro University's Lander College for Men. And with us is Dr. Henry Abramson, who's the dean of Touro's Lander College. He is an expert in Jewish history who was recently recognized with a YouTube Silver Creator Award for his online lectures, which have been viewed over 12 million times. His current projects include the Jewish History and Daf Yomi podcast for the All Daf app of the Orthodox Union, and a 3-volume Maggid History of the Jewish People for Koren Publishers, in addition to all of his duties as Dean of Touro's Lander College for Men. Dr. Abramson, a pleasure to be here and to say hello to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Segal. It's a big honor and a privilege to be speaking with you. I'm glad to count that among my many duties here on Lander College for Men.
I appreciate that. So, this is now year 2 as dean?
This is year 2, right, and I am deliriously happy. I'm enjoying myself here so much. Fantastic students, tremendous mission-driven staff. The Rebbeim are amazing. It's an incredible experience to be here.
Lander's been around for a while.
Yes, the university as a whole, we just celebrated our 50th anniversary a little while ago.
Right.
Lander College for Men is about half that age, but in many ways we reach all the way back in the Masorah to the origins of the Jewish people, because we're doing our best to give our students what they need to succeed in life.
And based on your reaction to the dean question, having now gotten into your second year, it sounds like you've that you may have been you may have had to manage expectations, but it sounds like everything here has exceeded your expectations.
Absolutely, 100%, 110% exceeded my percentage goals. Yeah, definitely.
One would wonder with the bio and with the tidbits from your career that I mentioned, how you juggle all of this and how one can make being dean a priority. How do you manage all of it?
That's a great question. I deal with it daily. You know, they say that time is the only non-renewable resource. And, you know, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I basically set up a series of micro rewards for myself every day.
Wow.
So that from the moment I wake up, I think to myself, okay, what do I got to do first? Oh, yes, I like that task. And so throughout the day, I have small rewards I give myself, and that keeps me propelled. But the big reward is, you know, the students here are so fantastic. I feel so fulfilled to be able to help them reach their potential.
It must be something to actually hang out on a campus with all this youthful enthusiasm. You've now mentioned the students more than once and the experience of dealing with them and helping them along. There's got to be something to that energy that they, as members of the youthful generation, bring to the table.
100%. There's a fantastic Gemara in Tainus that talks about how, you know, the way you create a blaze is you put kindling on top of a log. The log is capable of burning at a very high heat for a very long time, but it takes a lot of work to get it going. So you have to light a few pieces of straw, maybe pieces of newspaper, and that gets the log burning. So at my age, I think it's fair to call me a log. But those students, they burn so quickly, so hot that, you know, altogether we have a conflagration going on here.
And these
we're
days,
on fire.
And these days, it seems that generation has such a capability for retaining information and dealing with things on so many multitasking, as we always, call it. But in our generation, multitasking was something different. It seems like it's going at rapid speed these days.
You know, I agree with the second part of your statement. The first part, though, I think actually we're moving in the opposite direction. Yeah, and it's a serious thing. I mean,
Right.
Actually, research has shown that physiologically, the introduction of the internet, the advances that we've had technologically with, for example, smartphones, and now with artificial intelligence, students actually have a measurably lower attention rate. They have an incapability of the kind of deep thought that was associated with, if you forgive me, our generation.
Right.
Just reading a book from beginning to end requires a different kind of mental discipline that does not come easily to this generation.
Yeah,
So
understood. But their access to information is to be envied.
it's overwhelming. It's too much. It's a fire hose.
Right.
So, I used to spend a lot of time talking with my students about the difference between knowledge and wisdom, because now they have an incomparable amount of knowledge at their fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
But wisdom is a hard-earned coin that requires filtering that knowledge.
Right.
But nowadays, with AI, they suddenly have access to something that in many ways seems like it has wisdom, but it's deceptive.
Right.
And so I'm spending a lot of energy in that.
Well, common sense, I guess, is closer to wisdom than to knowledge, and that whole piece, as you said, maybe fooling some people into thinking they have it, that they have that common sense or wisdom. We're here with Dr. Henry Abramson. He's dean of Touro's Lander College for Men. We're literally sitting in the Touro building on the campus in Queens. We talk about academic offerings, and we are going to speak about the Essentials course and things that are happening here at Touro. Is there anything missing? It seems to me, with all the conversations I've had over the years with your staff members, the people who serve as faculty, that really any track that a post-high school, certainly post-Israel student wants, in addition to the Judaica piece, or the Judaic piece, I should say, in addition to that, it seems everything's available to them.
I think that's a fair statement, but we're always looking around the corner to say, okay, we're making everything available, but what is going to be available that we should get ahead of and make sure that we have it for them when they're ready to study? And so many fields are changing dramatically with this increase in technology that we definitely have to be on our A game every day.
And you've paid great attention to the AI piece.
Definitely.
Right? Just to make sure that those who want to pursue that line of work will have the training to be able to do so.
Well, that line of work is every line of work, except maybe if you want to be a yoga instructor. Because right now...
So there's no department that AI doesn't touch at this point?
Absolutely not.
And you'd include the Jewish piece in that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A student this morning asked me after davening, Dr. Abramson, do you think that with the development of AI, it's more important to be an Oker Horim now rather than a Sinai? This goes back to a very old debate in the Talmud. I'm sure you're familiar with it, whether, it's valuable to have a breadth of information memorized and at your fingertips, which is, you would think, less important now that we have such immediate access to the entirety of the rabbinic tradition, or an Oker Horim, someone who uproots mountains, someone who is able to dive in deep and make analysis and get to the fundamental principles, but not necessarily have that breadth of knowledge. So, my response to him was, well, definitely there, because of the lowered threshold of being a Sinai now, Oker Horim has a lot more value for us because a lot of people can be sort of like a Sinai. But at the same time, I said, when you invest the physical time and energy in learning the text without a computer or keyboard anywhere, that changes your brain. That changes you physiologically, literally physiologically. And so the exercise of forcing yourself to actually learn rather than saying, oh, I know I can just look it up, that's something very valuable that we are not stepping away from 1 centimeter.
How does one train a student to pursue that avenue and not rely on the fact that I can always look it up 6 days a week?
That's what we spend most of our day in. The Gemara studies here are really intense, very traditional. We have an incredible Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Sachs, who brings with him in his personality and his methodology all of the best traditions of Lithuania to our campus. Although we have 30% of our students are of Sephardic origins, and we have separate Sephardic minyan and so on, they come in with that kind of determination. I mean, this campus is the Navy SEALs of Jewish education. The students who come here are serious, motivated, rigorous, and they're ready to put in the sweat and tears to learn it right.
It's funny. We always said that here you'll get real classes, real courses, real degrees. And that was always a play off of what so many students, unfortunately, at least I think it's unfortunate, are doing by going online and thinking that they're getting that campus and academic experience that, that they're really not getting. And again, in some cases it might work and that's fine. But in many cases, they are missing something from that whole process. And here, as you just said, you're sitting with giants in many areas. You mentioned Rabbi Sachs, and with other people who are leading, great departments here, both in the Jewish and secular departments, who are, able to guide students and give them that experience of real class, real course, and real degrees.
Yeah, I'm glad you put it that way. I will also say, though, that no serious educator will ever say honestly that an online experience is as good as an in-person experience.
Right.
But the convenience of online education is pretty significant. And in some cases, what you sacrifice from a classroom experience is acceptable if the convenience is there. So we actually have a significant number of online classes, some really high-quality classes run by my colleague, Dr. Marian Stolz-Loike in particular.
I mean, you have students around the world who take advantage of that, right?
Yeah, right. So it's a trade-off. Some things we're just not doing online. We're studying Gemara in person in the base medrash with the noise and the cacophony and everything. But, other subjects at different times and places, the online makes a lot of sense. So we're doing everything.
So you have to be great at both.
Exactly.
That's it.
Our cylinders are pumping full throttle all the way.
Right, because I think some of the pioneers in the online space gave the online space a bad reputation because they weren't fully pursuing it and doing it the way it should be done. You have an obligation to our community and really to all students of all backgrounds to do both of them as well as possible.
100%. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to ask us, why didn't you do online properly? So,
and you need to answer that.
Yeah.
Dr. Henry Abramson.
Not right away, but...
Yes, I get it. I'm with you on that. Dr. Henry Abramson is Dean of Touro's Lander College for Men. We said we talk about the new Essentials course, and you said to me off the air that it's essential. What is it and why?
I'm so glad you asked. This is something, it's a major project for us. Last year, my first year, we did a really significant survey of what students valued most about their education. And we interviewed, and we had a survey. It was a really in-depth.
Current students.
We interviewed current students. We interviewed alumni. We interviewed the faculty. We interviewed student services. We interviewed everyone who was part of our campus community to ask them, what did you value, including alumni, 10 years out, saying, looking back on my years here, what was the most important thing they learned? And we were focused, obviously, not on the Gemara side of what they learned, but on like the college side of it. And based on that research, and with a lot of, incredible input from the faculty, we created this 3-credit course, which is required now for all incoming freshmen. We call it the Essentials at LCM. Listen to what it includes. One of our most popular classes is a communications workshop, which is basically a speaking skills class. How to take an interview, how to introduce yourself, how to interact with people who may not be from your little Tahara bubble. It's basically an interpersonal communications class taught very successfully by Mrs. Jody Smolin, who leads our career services department. So that's part of it. The second part is we have 2 skill sets and 2 knowledge bases. The skill sets are, this is fantastic, I think, managing your money.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's a 6 weeks intensive course. For students, it's basic stuff that we assumed you would have learned in high school, but so few of our students could say
Probably
they
a
had.
life changer for so many of them.
Now, people don't use checkbooks anymore,
but the
it's
idea,
how to balance your checkbook, how to evaluate credit card offers. A lot of schools, they have predatory companies come in and try to sell credit cards to students, and they say, oh, wow, $300 free credit. They don't realize what's going on with this. So this is a course taught not by a standard faculty member. It's taught by one of our Shoalim Umeshivim. It's taught by Rabbi Eliezer Feder. I chose him because, first of all, he's a brilliant individual. And secondly, he's a little bit on the younger side, so he's closer to the students in terms of knowing. He's like a few steps ahead of them in terms of he's already got married, has a family, bought a house.
Has good money management skills.
Excellent money management skills. And
that's what it's all about.
And I wanted someone to teach this who would be close enough to where they were that he could say, hey, listen, these are the challenges you're going to face. What is health insurance? Whoever thinks of buying health insurance or life insurance,
What's
right?
a Roth IRA?
So exactly. These are the kind of things I'm sure that, one of the things I sometimes joke, our most important degree is son-in-law. Like we're training the next generations of sons-in-law. And I'm speaking out there to all my fellow Shvers. This is the school you want to send.
You want to create good husbands and good fathers.
Right. They should know how to manage money. So that's one of the skill sets. The other skill set I'm proud to say I teach myself, which is a primer on artificial intelligence.
Wow.
How it works, what are its dangers, what are its potentials, working through the challenges.
How fast it's growing.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to have to change this course every time I teach it.
For sure.
So those are 2 skill sets. And then 2 knowledge bases. We identified things that they really had to know, no matter their majors, in order to survive in society, to be a literate and a contributing member of our society, specifically America. Basic economics, like enough so that if they read a news article, they'll know what it means if we have a trade deficit, if we have a national debt, GDP, those kinds of things. And the other thing is a basic introduction to American politics. So they know the value of citizenship, what it means to participate in our democracy, what it means to, to pass a law, to participate in local government, basically menschlich things, so that when they come out of this class, and especially when they graduate, they're well-rounded individuals, and people can look at them and say, oh my gosh, what a mensch. This must be a Lander College for Men graduate.
Amazing. And that's the Essentials department. That's brand new.
Yeah, Essentials class. It's one class.
So
you're right. That's it. Thank you.
You're offering 5 different things. It sounds like a department, frankly.
Nobody can see you smile online, but I'm going to tell the audience right now that you've got a huge smile, and I'm reacting to it because I feel very good about this.
I'm also jealous of some of these students because I went through my own college experience without going through any of these things, and they all would have been very helpful skills and knowledge-based things to have pursued. We should mention the Pathways program. This is something we concentrate on every time one of your faculty members is with us, and that is that you're not simply trying to give students here an undergrad degree. You're trying to figure out with them what the next step is. And for some, of course, they go straight to the workforce, but others, graduate school is really essential and important to them. So in every department, you're evaluating where the students are going once they have that BA.
Yeah, absolutely. Or BS,
right.
Which we also offer. And these pathway programs are really great because one of the things that Touro University can leverage is our tremendous breadth and depth as well, especially in the medical fields.
A lot of offerings.
Absolutely. We also have law schools and, graduate school to business and things like that. We have lots of different possibilities. Social work, exactly. So we can help our students because the value of an undergraduate degree has lost some of its luster in maybe the last decade or so, and graduate studies are really what's required to advance in your career. So that's great. Really building on the vision of Dr. Lander as expressed through Dr. Kadish, we're trying to provide a full runway for students from the entry all the way through their graduate school and then into their careers. We're especially strong in the medical fields, as I mentioned, with our 6 medical schools, including New York Medical College, and that's where our medical honors pathway shines. We have a very, very strong and deep base of highly accomplished students who are competing for a small number of slots in our medical honors pathway, where if we accept them and they maintain their basic GPA, then they are able to be guaranteed an interview for New York Medical, which is a highly prized thing. And we do that also in our dental schools where, we have a tremendous number of dentists who are coming through our doors. We're very proud of these honors pathways programs. And, I mentioned earlier the comparison to the Navy SEALs. So if all of our students are Navy SEALs, the MHP and DHP students, they're like our Shayetet Shloshesrei, they're like the super Navy SEALs.
Very highly qualified.
Yeah.
Finally, extracurricular activities with everything we've mentioned, with all the academics and all the studying and all the double program, et cetera, there is still time for extracurricular activities for a student here.
100%. And I think that one of our most popular extracurricular activities involves food. And sometimes I think that we're actually a massive food service industry with a small college attached to it because food is constantly flowing through this building with a tremendous amount of activities, sports activities and, tours and special groups dedicated to studying special subjects. More light light-hearted things like we have, a game room that the students take advantage of. Last semester, we actually brought in one of those artificial rocking bulls that you can sit on with. Yeah, I know.
Mechanical bull.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out exactly how that fit into the academic curriculum.
Certainly a challenge.
I have a fantastic Dean of Students, Rabbi Ariel Kapitnikoff, who dreams up some amazing things that our students really love. So, yeah, we're not a party school, but they have a tremendous amount of fun on campus.
Finally, Dean Abramson, can you join me in wishing a mazel tov to Dr. David Katz?
Oh.
The big event, the gala, is coming up. I believe it's the 22nd of February, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's fantastic.
And you're somebody who appreciates the work that he's done here and obviously leads an incredible part of Touro University.
It's a tremendous privilege to work with so many really highly qualified and motivated professionals in their fields. Dr. Katz is exemplary in many, many ways. And so, mazel to him, definitely.
Thanks so much for joining us. Dr. Henry Abramson is the Dean of the Touro University Lander College for Men, and you have quite an impressive campus here, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and continued success during this amazing school year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
A pleasure.
Okay.
More coming up. It's JM in the AM. JM in the AM as we visit Touro University's Lander College for Men. And look at this. We've run into two amazing students who are here at Lander who are going to share with us what they're doing here in terms of their career and how Lander is enhancing all of their academic experience. Yair Bouhadana is here. Yair, a pleasure to welcome you to JM in the AM.
Thank you for having me.
Originally from Montreal, Canada.
Yeah.
And somehow found your way to New York City and to Lander College for Men. We'll talk about that. And Zeke Baitner is with us, who is a pre-dental student from Miami, Florida, Hollywood, Florida, whatever you want to say.
Yes.
Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
You also somehow found New York City and Lander College. Well, tell me about your journey first. How did you decide to come here?
Well, when I went from high school in Montreal, I went to Yeshiva in Israel. Yeshiva Kotel. And then, naturally speaking, as I learned more Torah and I became, more religious and more involved in Torah and mitzvot, I realized that I wanted to learn more instead of going to secular college. So Lander was on my radar ever since maybe halfway into Shana Aleph, and I decided to come to Lander in order to learn and also grow in college.
Right. Do they accommodate out-of-towners here?
They do. They have international visas, so that's good.
that's helpful.
And yeah, it's a good time in general. There's a lot of free food here, so I don't have to miss my mom's cooking a little too much.
So that's the secret to keeping the out-of-town students. Make sure there's good free food.
I guess so. Yeah. And yeah.
So there's plenty of students who dorm in this area.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. And Zeke, tell me about your journey. Similar to this one or not?
It's definitely similar to Yair's. I was in Aish for a year and a half, and I'd never really applied anywhere for college. And then I had Rav Mannheim, I think he's the director of admissions. He came over to Aish, started telling us about all the great things in Landers, and that was it. I thought the pricing for me was big. It's affordable here.
That's interesting. That's a good point.
The credits from Israel, that was big. And then I guess the third one for me was the ability to keep learning a similar way that I was in Israel.
Why dentistry?
Few reasons. One, my mom is a pediatric dentist.
Oh, wow. You grew up with it, huh?
Grew up with that. So that's probably the main one. And then also I wanted to be, I guess, hands-on and seeing people face-to-face and not behind a screen.
And and now you're in your second year here?
I'm in my third semester now, yeah.
Third semester. So what is the progression? Like you actually get to dental school at what point?
I've still got at least another year and a half here, and then hopefully apply to dental school after that, and then it's 4 years of dental school.
Right, and Touro's got a pretty good dental school.
They have a pretty popular dental school. Yeah. I think it's in Westchester.
Right, it's got an unbelievable reputation.
Yes, it does.
So you're hoping to just stay on that path?
It's definitely an option. It's great just knowing that from here in Landers that I have an option of continuing with Touro if needed. Right.
And are you enjoying the Jewish part of Touro as well? Not just the secular academic track, but the Jewish track as well?
I'm loving it. My Rebbe's incredible here. It's awesome. Shmuel Marcus. He lives in the area also.
Sure. Young Israel, Queens Valley?
Yes. So he's awesome.
He's amazing.
He's right here. He's awesome. A bunch of the other Rebbeim I'm with, my Night Seder Rebbe, also Dupakias there, with Yonatan Cohen, was close by too.
Wow.
Sunshine Sachs.
That's one of the things we really do, because we do a lot of Touro interviews and talk about the campus and the academics here, but we don't emphasize the fact that it's in an unbelievable neighborhood. There's a lot of Jewish people around here. And it's not only that you have Rebbeim who live nearby, you also feel the community, right? 'Cause aren't there a lot of community members who actually daven in Touro and are seen in the base medrash, quite often?
There's definitely people who live here who are here. Seems like most nights they're here
Right.
for Night Seder, for Marv. I guess when they finish work, right around the corner, there's one block I think that has 5 shuls on it. And then there's plenty of restaurants and grocery stores right around the corner.
Yeah, Queens is known for that. Zeke Baitner is who we're speaking to. Yair Bouhadana is here. So why medical school, or why this pre-med track?
So I was always interested in the way that the human body worked, and the problems that could come with it, and how you can fix those problems. And personally, in my family, there was a few people who had a lot of health problems, and I saw how much being a doctor and actually taking care of people in that way means to those people. Yeah.
And now, what is your progression? Similar to Zeke, where you're in year number 2? Or?
I'm in year 2. Very
And-
similar to Zeke, yeah.
And medical school a couple of years away, and then I don't know how many years now. I know in my
4
day,
years.
medical school was a really long time. I don't know what it's like
I
now.
think it's 4 years.
That's it, 4 years, and then you start working in hospitals.
And then I start residency, so still
Right.
not, still not fully doctor.
So it's a journey, but it seems like so many people have taken the journey with Touro. Like there's plenty of guys who precede the two of you who've done this and have really been effective. And I think Touro's pretty proud of the careers that they've established for themselves in medicine.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Also, there's also the medical school of Touro helps out a lot.
Could you describe your day? I'm assuming that with the shiurim, the night seder, and all the studies in between, you are doing serious studies, dentistry and medicine, that it's an 18-hour day, like it's nonstop, I would guess, no?
It's a pretty long day.
Yeah.
Shacharis, I start in the morning 7:45.
And nonstop till when? Till after night seder?
Close to. I have some breaks once in a while.
Right.
I guess we have morning seder and learning from 9:30 till 12:15, lunch, and then shear for an hour after that. So I guess our morning with learning is done at about 2:30, and then it's class time after that.
How come in my day it was like 2.5 hours of shear? How come it's only an hour here? I need to know. I think it's a good idea these days. A 1 hour comprehensive shear is, could be much more valuable than trying to keep everybody motivated for 2.5 hours. Agreed or not?
Agreed. Not sure I could handle a 2.5 hour shear.
Right, exactly. But in the old days, there were people doing just that. And how do you find the schedule? I mean,
rigorous.
Yair, rigorous is the word, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I have we learn during the day and we study at night. It's like
Right.
you got to be a night owl if you want to be able to succeed here, because you got to study until 12, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, things like that.
Right. How often are you able to get back to Canada, or you don't?
Not that often.
Is that a problem?
It's not a problem. I can get back pretty easily. There's Greyhounds, there's planes, there's people driving back and forth.
Right.
But whatever. It's a schlep.
Right. And once you're entrenched in your pursuit of what you want to do,
All right. Yeah.
you'd rather just keep going forward. Same with you, or you make it to Florida once in a while?
I make it home once in a while. It happens to be I'm going home tomorrow. Family from coming out of the country. But
Nice.
usually it's once every couple of months.
Yeah. And so is there time for, when we spoke to the dean, he said there is such a thing as extracurricular activities here. Is there time to, to do something more fun, or, take your mind off of the academic pursuits?
There definitely is. I happen to be president of the soccer group here.
There's an actual soccer team?
It's not a soccer team, but it's a bunch of us who we try and play whenever we can at indoor facilities. So we'll go together.
Interesting.
Usually play once a week at night.
And there's a place large enough indoors to actually do that?
Play like 5 versus 5.
Yeah.
We can play. That's my extracurricular activities,
Right.
my exercise.
I mean, in my day, indoor soccer was actually a major league sport.
Yeah.
I don't know if that still exists or not. And you find time to relax a little bit or not?
Lander itself has a lot of events, has a lot of programming
Right.
with the student government. So put it to the day, put it to the year. We also have a lot of extracurricular events.
All right. Are you guys the most obscure places that students come from? Canada, Florida, or have you met fellow students from places that would shock me? Middle America, Europe. I mean, where have you met guys from?
I met this one here right now from Panama.
Really?
Guy from Panama,
Full-time student.
full-time student.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Also a French guy
From actual
from
friends.
France. Yeah.
All right. I guess it's attracting students from far and wide, everywhere and anywhere. Yair Bouhadana Zeke Baitner, they are respectively pre-med and pre-dental students here at Touro University's Lander College for Men. I thank both of you for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
A pleasure. More coming up. You're listening to JM in the AM.